Welcome to the podcast, where a passion meets purpose and limits are challenged. I'm your host, Eleonora Gendelman. Let's start bending reality. Right now, in this very moment, you're part of something extraordinary. While others are scrolling mindlessly through their feeds, you've stopped to listen to this podcast. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment, the right circumstances, or someone's permission to truly begin living. They're caught in the same patterns, same thoughts, same results, day after day. But you are different. The very fact that you're here shows you're ready for more. What brought you to this exact moment? Was it curiosity, a feeling, or perhaps that quiet voice inside telling you there's something bigger waiting for you? Whatever it was, trust it. Because that same instinct, that same inner knowing is what separates those who merely exist from those who truly live. Every person who's ever achieved something extraordinary started exactly where you are right now. They were sitting somewhere, watching something, reading something, and suddenly everything clicked. They realized that the life they dreamed of wasn't just possible, it was inevitable if they dared to step into their true potential. You know that feeling when you wake up and before the day even begins, you already know exactly how it's going to unfold. The same routine, the same thoughts, the same limitations. But here's what we need to understand. Those patterns are not who we are. They are just what we have practiced becoming. The truth is, you've been practicing your current life for years. Every thought, every decision, every action has led you to this moment. And if you have been practicing being the same person, experiencing the same life, feeling the same feelings, then guess what? You have become really good at it. But is that what you want to keep practicing? Here's what makes the 1% different. They understand that transformation is about becoming someone new. It's about breaking free from the prison of past conditioning and stepping into the unknown with absolute certainty that something better awaits. Look around you right now. Everything in your life, your relationships, your health, your wealth, your happiness, it's all a reflection of who you have been being. Not who you can be, not who you are meant to be, who you have been being. And that's actually great news, because if your life is created by who you are being, then changing your life is as simple as becoming someone new. It is not just making some changes, setting goals. It's about fundamentally shifting who you are at your core. It's about stepping out of the familiar, comfortable patterns that have kept you safe but small and stepping into the unknown territory of your greatest potential. You are here because you are part of the 1% who are ready to wake up to their true potential. Think about the last time you felt truly alive, not just existing, but truly living. Maybe it was when you took a risk that paid off. Maybe it was when you followed your heart despite what others said. Maybe it was when you stood up for what you believed in, even when it was difficult. That's feeling, that is your true nature. That's who you really are when you strip away all the limitations, all the doubts. And here's what we need to realize. That feeling isn't just a random occurrence. It's not luck. It's what happens when we step out of our memorized emotions and into our true power. It's what happens when we stop letting our past dictate our future. This isn't about forcing change through willpower alone. We've all tried that, haven't we? We've all made those New Year's resolutions, started those Monday morning diets, promised ourselves this time will be different. And what happens within weeks and sometimes even days after, we are right back where we started. Why? Because we are trying to create lasting change while remaining the same person. It's like trying to plant new seeds in the same soil and expecting different flowers to grow. It doesn't work that way. The soil itself needs to change. You need to change. You can choose to become someone new every morning. When you wake up, we have approximately 60,000 thoughts a day. About 90% of those thoughts are the same ones we had yesterday and the day before and the day before. No wonder our life stays the same. But what if you could change those thoughts? What if you could wake up each morning and instead of automatically running the same mental programs, you consciously chose new thoughts? What if instead of letting your environment control your thinking, you let your thinking create your environment? Most people say, I will believe it when I see it. But that's backward thinking. The truth is, you will see it when you believe it, when you truly believe something, not just intellectually, but emotionally, physically, with every fiber of your being. Your entire world begins to shift to match that belief. Here's the key. It has to be a real decision, not a hope, not a wish, not a maybe someday. A real decision that draws a line in the sand and says, from this moment forward, I choose to be different. The kind of decision that burns all bridges back to your old self and leaves you no choice but to move forward. You might be thinking, but what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I'm not strong enough? These thoughts are normal. They are the voice of your old self trying to keep you safe in your comfort zone. But ask yourself this. Has staying safe in your comfort zone given you the life you truly want? The truth is, you have access to an infinite wealth of potential that you haven't even begun to tap into. But to access it, you have to be willing to let go of who you have been. You have to be willing to step into uncertainty with the unwavering faith that something better awaits on the other side. This isn't about adding more to your life. It's about becoming more. It's about expanding your consciousness beyond the limited thinking that has kept you bound to your past. It's about awakening to the truth that you are not your past. You are not your circumstances. You are not your limitations. You are pure potential waiting to be expressed. And the beautiful thing is, once you embody this truth, everything begins to shift. Your energy changes. Your presence changes. The way you walk, talk, and carry yourself changes. Not because you are trying to change these things, but because they are natural expressions of your new way of being. When you do that, coincidences become meaningful. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. The right people show up at exactly the right time. This isn't about waiting for something outside of you to change. It's about changing what's inside of you, because when you change your inner world, your outer world has no choice but to reflect that change. Every great achievement in human history started with someone refusing to accept their current reality as final. They saw something different in their mind, and they held onto that vision with such conviction that reality had no choice but to bend to their will. You have that same power within you, the power to see beyond what is, the power to feel beyond your current circumstances, the power to hold a vision so clear and so strong that it begins pulling you towards it like a magnet. But most people never access this power because they are too busy looking at what is. They are too focused on their problems, their limitations, their reasons why they can't. It's like someone sitting in a dark room complaining about the darkness, never realizing they have the ability to turn on the light. Your potential isn't determined by your past. It's not limited by your education, your background, or your current circumstances. Your potential is limited only by your ability to see possibilities and your courage to act on them. Think about the greatest heroes in history, the inventors, the revolutionaries, the dreamers who changed the world. What made them different? They were not smarter than everyone else. They were not more talented. They were not more lucky. They simply refused to accept the limitations. When others said impossible, they said, watch me. When others said that's just the way things are, they said things can be different. When others said someday, they said today. That is the difference that makes the difference. You can continue accepting the limitations that have been placed on you by society, by your past, by your own thinking, or you can decide that from this moment forward, you are going to live from your potential rather than your patterns. Every great idea, every beautiful creation, every life-changing innovation, they all exist right now in the field of infinite potential. Your job isn't to create them. Your job is to tune into them and bring them into reality. Think about a radio for a moment. All the stations are broadcasting at the same time. You don't have to create the music. You just have to tune to the right frequency. Your potential works the same way. All possibilities exist right now. You just have to tune yourself to the frequency of the reality you want to experience. But here's the key. You can't tune into these higher frequencies while running your old patterns. You can't access new possibilities while holding on to old limitations. You have to be willing to let go of who you have been to become who you can be. This means letting go of the story you have been telling about yourself. The story about why you can't, the story about what's possible and what isn't, the story about who you are and who you are not. Because here's the truth, any story you tell yourself enough times becomes your reality. Not because it's true, but because you have been practiced it into existence. So, what story will you choose to tell from this moment forward? Will you continue telling the story of limitation, of not enough, of someday, or will you begin telling a new story, a story of possibility, of power, of potential, waiting to be unleashed? The choice is yours. The moment you truly decide to change your story and decide to step into your potential, to live from possibility rather than patterns, something magical happens. The universe itself begins to conspire in your favor. Doors begin to open. Resources appear. Help arrives from unexpected places. Not because of some mysterious force, but because when you change your energy, you change what you attract. When you change your frequency, you change what you are in tune with. When you change who you are being, you change what life brings to you. Let me tell you about creating lasting change. It is not about what you do, it is really about who you are being while doing it. You can take all the right actions, follow all the right steps, do everything perfectly on the outside, but if you are being the same person on the inside, nothing will truly change. Your inner world is where everything begins. It's where your power lies. It's where transformation happens. Many of us spend their entire lives trying to change their outer world while leaving their inner world exactly the same. They try to change their relationships while being the same person. They try to change their health while keeping the same thoughts. They try to change their wealth while maintaining the same beliefs. Your thoughts are not just thoughts. They are electrical charges in your brain creating electromagnetic fields. Your emotions are not just feelings. They are chemical reactions in your body, creating a vibrational frequency. Together, they create your state of being. And your state of being is what determines what you attract and create in your life. Think about the last time you were truly happy. Not because of something that happened, but just because. Remember how everything seemed to flow. Remember how opportunities seemed to appear out of nowhere. Remember how people were naturally drawn to you. That wasn't coincidence. That was the power of your state of being. Now, think about times when you were stressed, angry, or afraid. What kind of experiences did you attract? Then what kind of opportunities showed up? What kind of people were drawn to you? Your state of being was attracting matching experiences. When you master your inner world, the outer world naturally falls into place. When you master your thoughts and emotions, you master your energy. When you master your energy, you master your life. You have to flip the script. Instead of letting your environment control your thinking, let your thinking create your environment. Instead of letting circumstances determine your emotions, let your chosen emotions create new circumstances. Instead of reacting to what is, respond from what could be. This isn't about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about understanding that reality is responsive to your inner state. It's about recognizing that your environment is not the source of your thoughts and emotions. It's the reflection of them. You have the power to choose your emotional state regardless of circumstances. Every emotion you have ever felt has been created by your thoughts about your experiences, not by the experiences themselves. Two people can go through exactly the same situation and feel completely different emotions. Why? Because they are thinking different thoughts. They are telling themselves different stories. They are being different people in the same situation. This is where your true power lies, in your ability to choose your thoughts, select your emotions, and determine your state of being, regardless of external circumstances. This is what separates those who create the reality from those who simply react to whatever shows up. But to access this power, we have to be willing to take full responsibility for our inner world. No more blaming others for how we feel. No more letting circumstances dictate our state. No more waiting for something outside of us to change before we change inside. We have to become the master of our inner world. This means choosing our thoughts deliberately, selecting our emotions consciously, and maintaining our chosen state of being, regardless of what is happening around us. It means becoming so stable in our inner world that the outer world loses its power to disturb our peace. And this is where true creation begins. Once we have mastered our inner world, we are ready to start creating, not from need, not from lack, not from wanting to fix what's wrong, but from a place of wholeness, power, and possibility. Many of us approach creation backwards. They look at what is missing in their lives and try to fill the gaps. They look at what is wrong and try to fix it. They look at what they do not have and try to get it. But true creation doesn't work that way. True creation comes from the overflow, not from lack. It comes from inspiration. This is how we need to approach creating our life. Your life is a masterpiece. Every moment is a blank canvas waiting for you to paint upon it. Every day is a new opportunity to create something beautiful, something meaningful, something that's never existed before. But you have to approach it as an artist, not as someone trying to fix what's broken. When you create from this place, something magical happens. Instead of struggling, you start flowing. Instead of pushing and forcing, you start allowing. Instead of making things happen, you start attracting them naturally. But what usually happens? We want to see it before we believe it. We want proof before we will commit. We want guarantees before we will take action. That's not how creation works. Creation requires faith, not blind faith, but the kind of faith that comes from understanding how reality really works. Everything in our physical reality right now was once just a thought, an idea, a possibility in someone's mind. The chair you're sitting on, the device you're listening this on, the tools you eat your food with, all of those things existed as pure potential before they became physical reality. Someone had to see them in their mind before they could exist in the world. Your future works the same way. It exists right now as pure potential. Your job is to select which potential you want to make real, not by hoping, not by wishing, not by wanting, but by becoming the person who already has what you desire. You don't want to keep wanting what you don't have, which only reinforces the fact that you don't have it. You don't want to keep trying to get somewhere, which only reinforces the fact that you are not there yet. Instead, you have to flip the script. Do not try to get what you want. Become the person who already has it. Do not try to reach your goals. Become the person who has already achieved them. Do not try to find success. Become the person who is already successful. Your outer world will always organize itself to match your inner world. So, if you want to change your outer world, you have to first change your inner world. Everything you want is already created. Every possibility already exists. You are not creating something new. You are selecting from what already exists in the field of infinite potential. But you can only select what matches your frequency, what matches your state of being. Becoming is so much more powerful than getting. When you focus on getting, you reinforce the fact that you don't have. When you focus on becoming, you transform into someone new. And when you become someone new, you naturally attract new experiences that match who you have become. But you have to maintain this new state of being consistently. You can't keep switching back and forth between who you were and who you want to be. You have to commit fully to your new way of being, even when your physical reality hasn't caught up yet. This takes courage. It takes faith. It takes persistence. Because for a while, you'll be living in two realities, the physical reality of what is and the mental reality of what will be. Your job is to stay so focused on what will be that what is loses its power to pull you back. What separates those who achieve their dreams from those who don't? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even hard work. It's the ability to stay committed to their vision even when they can't see how it's going to happen. It's their willingness to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. Every next level of your life will require you to be a bigger person than you have been before. It will require you to shed old identities, release old patterns, and step into new territory. This isn't about becoming someone different. It's about becoming more of who you truly are. Inside you right now is everything you need to create the life you desire. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need to make a decision to stop playing small and start living from your potential. The time for waiting is over. Your future is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you. It's not something you wait for. It is something you create. And you create it not by what you do, but by who you become. You are becoming an example of what is possible. When you transform, you give others permission to transform. When you step into your power, you show others their own power. When you create the extraordinary, you inspire others to do the same. Let this be the moment you decide to stop playing small and start living big. If you found this episode valuable, please rate, review, and share with someone who would benefit as well. Thank you for choosing yourself, doing the work, and creating change. Keep living with purpose.